gentlemen, welcome back to the Student Media Podcast. This is episode
Episode
6?
6. Yep.
I knew it. I was gonna say 5 or 6, but I'm pretty sure in my internship thing that I had to write up, I wrote that we were on episode 6, and that was last week. So it doesn't matter. We're here, right?
You have some people that are going to be coming down your throat here pretty soon.
No, I don't think so. I think I'm safe. I think my job is safe. No one else can do the job that you and I do every single week.
True.
They don't pump out the kind of work we do.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, anyways, Deacon, great to be with you as always. How's it going, dude?
You know what? I'll keep it real. I could be better, but you know what? I'm living, I'm breathing. I'm a human being on this planet. So, I'm very grateful to be here today in the studio and in my studio for once. Just a different look. Since the last time we've been separated, I've moved, so I'm living in a house now, not an apartment. So it's a different area here. So
yeah, and this is not a COVID precautionary thing this time.
Nope.
This was just scheduling and getting work done kind of thing for the week, because we are also students. As it is the Student Media Podcast, we have other things that we have to accomplish throughout the week as well. As you can see, we do not have a guest today. That is simply because we're kind of at the midpoint. Well, we're past the midpoint of the quarter, obviously, but it's like going to be a reflection week. It's going to be like what we've got coming up. Maybe talk about some of the guests that we've had so far and what we've learned so far. But it's just like a little checkup week and a look ahead to what we're doing. Deacon, you mentioned you were not feeling great. I've got this little journal here. I could do a counseling session right here live on the show if you'd like.
Oh man, that would be quite the scenario.
I could jot down some of your thoughts and feelings.
Yeah.
We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that if you don't want to, but I'm more than willing. I only charge $20 an hour, so
Okay, that's a pretty fair rate.
That's because I'm new. I don't have my license yet, so legally I don't think I can do it. But check this out though. Follow. Oh shoot, man, you guys gotta see this.
It's kind of close. Follow Pulse Magazine on YouTube, everyone.
Subscribe to Pulse Magazine. Hit the subscribe button. You can find all of our videos on here, all of our podcasts that we've done so far. This is the most recent one with Terry, great one. Photographer Brian, Noah, editor-in-chief Catherine, the two idiots that run this show.
Yep.
Look at that. Look what Deacon used to look like. He used to have the hair.
Yeah. Hey, man, there you go. There's the beautiful flow. Yeah, I know. Everyone keeps seeing my cycles of my 6 months every my rotation with my hair, and then I got to clean it up and chop it off.
This is my cycle right here.
Yeah, always the hat. Or the
I got a clean fade in that one. I got a clean fade in that one with the hat. Right there, looking like a jungle man a little more.
I love that one. I love the background on that episode.
Not taken care of. Yeah, I mounted my TV, so I wanted to have a cool display in the background if we ever did this. Maybe we'll be able to work out some cool studio stuff now that this is mounted whenever you're here, and we got our 2 microphone situation going. But yeah, be sure to go subscribe to the Pulse podcast, because you can find, it's the Pulse Magazine on YouTube, but you can find all of our podcasts on there, as well as other cool content that they've posted in the past, and maybe some stuff coming up. You never know.
Yeah. We're doing well on views and stuff here, but we've still yet to hear anybody that is actually physically watching the show. So somebody wants to drop a comment on our next video, we'd love to know that there's not bots watching this and there's live humans. Yeah, that's
1.4K. It's our most viewed video. It was our second ever episode, actually, when we had all the student media leaders.
Yeah.
Kind of fluctuated from here and there, but
powerhouse episode.
You get the idea. Terry, she has some good views on that one. Anyways, Deacon, so far, just off the rip, what has been your favorite interview or episode that you've done this quarter so far?
Oh, we've had a lot of great ones. We've touched on a lot of different areas for student media, which I'm happy about. We're not just keeping it to one platform, I guess, but it had to be the Terry interview in our last episode, just because it's such a culminating moment for all the shows that we've talked about. And she just loved to talk. It was very easy to keep a conversation going with her, and she liked our inquisitive questions and gave us some good feedback, and lessened our worries potentially for taking Central News Watch, at least for me personally, because I know it's going to be a great time.
Speak for yourself, pal. I'm not worried about taking Central News Watch because I'm afraid to do the work. It's just a lot of work. And as someone who's a responsible human being like I should be, it just makes things even more stressful whenever you have to be responsible and you are a responsible person. So I know Terry because she knows us. She's going to she's gonna throw us into some things. It's like, all right, Terry, take it easy. Oh, take
Yeah.
it easy. It's first quarter. No, but I look forward to the challenge.
Yeah.
I don't look forward to the class. I look forward to the challenge. Um, but yeah, I have to agree. I do think the episode with Terry and just the interview in general was not, I don't want to say my favorite because I don't want to single anybody out, but like
Yeah.
it was definitely a great experience and one that I will look back on a lot whenever we look back
Mhm.
and do reflections of what we did here. I had a self realization the other day. I was like, man, these are going to be on the internet forever. Like, I don't know if the Pulse magazine will ever take these down. So it's
Mhm.
like, if anyone ever wanted to find us on the internet and we're not working on the internet once
Mhm.
we're in our careers, they can just look at the magazine and go to this Pulse
Yeah.
magazine YouTube channel. And our two dumb faces are going to be on here for a long time. And people are going to be like, wow, that was really dumb.
Yeah, kind of a scary thought. We have to monitor what we say in terms of not wanting to look like complete idiots all the time, but it happens,
Hey,
and
student
we're
media is
grateful for
PG.
it. And it seems like we have a great reception, and we're still allowed to do it. So let's keep rolling on that front.
Hey,
What's
look,
the
mm-hmm.
what's a like piece of information that you learned from some of our interviews, or something that really shocked you at this quarter?
I think the fact was what Catherine talked about. The Catherine Camarada, she's the EIC. She was our
Hmm.
first episode EIC for the Observer, and she mentioned that a lot of the interviews that she's done in the past with some of these really like hard topics, like substance abuse and mental health and stuff like that. A lot of the interviews that she conducted over time doing interviews for the Observer is that she's made like friendships and bonds with those
Hmm.
people. And that's not something that you usually get out of
Not common.
newspaper writing. It's not like you're not forming a relationship with these people most of the time. There's nowhere that says you can't do that. It's just one of those things where it's like, your goal is to get all the information possible
Hmm.
and correctly portray that information into a story where people are going to learn as much as they can about what's happening. And with, you know, it's cool. It's like super, super unique because people want to build relationships, people want friendships and things like that. And I think being part of the Observer, not just in the class or just in student media in general, together with the people that you're in building relationships, you can build relationships outside of student media by doing these interviews and speaking with these people. So I think that's a big piece of information that I took away from the first episode we did, this one. And
Hmm.
this is someone that I work with every single week, so that was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that is
what about
cool.
what about you?
Oh, man, that's a good question. Usually when I think of these questions, I never have an answer for myself, which is why I like to prompt it. So maybe,
Why you put on someone else?
yeah, that's why I put it on someone
I
else.
don't know what I would answer, but I'm going to ask you anyway.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. You know what? Come back to me on that one. Maybe dish me another one. I can think of it in the background.
I'll dish you another one. How has this podcast or being the co-host of this podcast like really helped you in terms of, I don't want to say journalistic skills
Hmm.
because I think that is a different kind of, I mean it is journalism in a way, but
Hmm.
just in terms of, like communication skills overall, how has this podcast helped you? Because I can tell you how it's helped me. I mean,
Hmm.
I have to write, I had to write a midterm like reflection for the internship for doing this podcast. And essentially I broke down how this podcast in general, one of the big takeaways I've had is just the on the spot interviewing skills that this thing has really helped me with, because it's
Hmm.
not your typical just shooting questions at people and looking for answers. You're having a conversation with people, and people like that a lot more.
Hmm.
I enjoy that way more than asking people just straight up questions. So like, where how has this helped you?
Um, I would probably say that as this last year has gone on, I'm a fairly quiet person, but I feel that when I'm interacting with other people and having them tell us stories and why they're interested in things, I think I'm really good at facilitating um, and driving conversations that like have some kind of inspiration behind it. So maybe just having people open up and feeling like comfortable, like they can express how they're feeling, and sharing with others like what they're actually working on, which I think is the cool part about our show, is that a lot of the people that we have on are always behind the scenes. So, and then, they're working on stories, and whether it be with Observer or Pulse or Newswatch in the past, and
or the
then
professor.
yeah, or the professors, or and then hopefully we'll have on some other people soon. Quick plug for faculty people, other faculty, but just having them really just kind of like take over the platform. So I think maybe just, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of a long-winded answer, but just realizing that I'm pretty good at letting people share themselves. I don't think I think I do a good job with placing in like well-timed questions and kind of figuring out when to fill the air and when not to. And no one's ever complained about that, feeling overwhelmed, or
Yeah,
I think
I don't
everyone.
think we've ever. I feel like I'm doing it right now, but I don't feel like we've ever stepped on people's toes,
Yeah.
like in the
Hmm.
middle of their answers. And it's like we sit and we wait and we listen, and that's part of what this is like you're asking them questions and you're having a conversation with them because you want to know what they have to say. They don't want to know what we have to
Hmm.
say. We're not like
No.
we're hosting, we're opening the gates to these people
Yeah.
to like introduce these humans to the
Hmm.
humans that listen or
Yeah.
watch. And I think that's the cool thing. And it's like for me, one of the biggest things was when doing these kind of interviews or just these conversations that we have every single week with these different people who have so many different backgrounds and so much information to tell us and stories to tell and things like that. I'm just listening. Like I'm really engaged in listening
Hmm.
to what they have to say. And I've mentioned it before, like I do this thing where I'll sit here and I look down or like I look away
Yeah.
from the camera, and that's because I'm listening. That's because I'm
Hmm.
just like in my head I'm thinking about what they're telling us, and it looks like I'm disengaged, but it's just because like I'm sitting here and I'm processing what they're telling me, and I'm thinking like 3 steps ahead. I'm thinking about what
Yeah.
questions I want to ask next. Like
Hmm.
I'm trying to break down what they're telling me so I can ask them a question about the story they're telling me or maybe like a little detail that they gave. And that's something that I've really taken away from this. Something I've definitely gotten better at, I think, is like listening fully to the conversation and
Hmm.
in the conversation in a way where I'm turning back at them and I'm asking them a question that they're not expecting me to ask, but it's a good thing. It's not like I'm trying to catch them in a lie or anything. I'm just trying to like, I want to know a little
Yeah.
more. Like you mentioned like she was wearing red shoelaces.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Like why, like,
Really like digging into it instead of just like, oh, that's cool. Our next question is this, you like,
and
because that's kind of lame.
I think they enjoy that because they feel like you're listening, and they
Mhm.
all and what we've learned about people in communications is people want to talk, people
Mhm.
want to tell their stories and things like that.
Mhm.
So I think that's the biggest takeaway
Yeah.
I've had for
Even
sure.
even if people are like, oh man, I'm kind of nervous right before the show, and then they do the show and are just killing it because it's like they're talking about what they already do on a day-to-day basis, and then at the end they're like, oh, that was pretty fun. So like sometimes we get to talk to people for a couple of minutes before or after, which I enjoy too, and it makes it feel less like, it's like we already know these people or we've heard of them before, like through friends of friends, but it feels a lot more like communal instead of like doing business, which I enjoy. I mean, we take it like pretty lax, but it's not like we're not putting care or thought into this at the same time. So I think there's a delicate balance there.
Well, that and they get they they might act like they're nervous to come on, or and then they just look at us and they're like, yeah, these two guys are
Don't worry about these people. Yeah.
they're like, yeah, this is gonna be easy.
Mm,
You know, easy going. That's what we like to do here.
mm,
So,
yeah.
pivot real quick, flip it around,
Mm-hmm.
because you're kind of in charge of doing things like this for the website. What do you got coming up? Because I know you are like one of our website coordinators,
Mm-hmm.
you and Sydney.
Totally. Yeah. Well, so within the next 2.5, 3 weeks or so, people will be holding that new Pulse issue. So we are getting ready to launch some. Yeah, somewhere over there. We're getting to launch some new content on the website, and yeah, Sydney and I have been our social media coordinator for everything for Pulse. We're getting ready to just give you guys a bunch of cool stories about what's going on in the area, and I don't want to give anything away. I know we've been pretty tight-lipped about that stuff, but
How's how's that going? Because we're communication students, we're not website designers.
mhm.
Like, how are you feeling about that?
You know what? I'm very happy I took on the task. I was very honored that Jen asked if I wanted to do it. I have experience with like Photoshop and Premiere and all that kind of stuff and slight video editing, so it's like not completely out of my forte. But website is completely different ball game with Squarespace. So I've been trying to figure out how to use that a little bit more. And we've changed small stuff on the website here and there, like adding new tabs and changing the cover picture, and all that's pretty simplistic. But I've been doing other stuff, trying to completely overhaul it in the future. Don't know when that's going to be exactly, but I also want to be careful because we don't want to lose all of our progress. So, I'm going to be coordinating with everyone here pretty soon and figuring out how to launch this content, which I know is not going to be that difficult.
The Squarespace commercials that I see on TV make it seem they say it's pretty easy to use
Mm-hmm.
Squarespace. Is that true?
Um, You know what? I would say that it's very intricate. And once you start figuring out where the tabs are, because there's so many, it's entirely customizable. So sometimes you'll be like, okay, I think I'm going to change this part of the website, but it appears on the top part instead of the bottom part because there's like 40 different versions of fonts and like where they're at and where the screens are at. And you can put gallery images in certain areas, and then you can put, I don't know, like transitioning ones that are rotating, and there's just so much to play with. So I'm gonna we've had the same layout for about 6 years,
Dang.
so for template wise for the website. So I'm trying to make it have its same essence, not change too much, and make everything open in the future so people can know where the features are at and where social media is located and where our social justice articles are at and all that. So everyone, and our contact information as well. So I've been working on that. So hopefully, I plan on trying to keep coming back to Pulse, even if it's not like, even though I've got a requirement technically, it's not like I'm just doing this because I have to for a class. Like I actually enjoy doing it. And I think this is kind of my field that I enjoy for student media personally. So
That's
I'd like to
something
continue working on that.
that's something you can take with other places with you
Mm-hmm.
as well, like website design,
Mm-hmm.
things social media, stuff like that. It's just the world that we live in nowadays. But yeah, I mean, Squarespace redesigning a website. Do you feel like you're reinventing the wheel right now? Do you feel pressure yet with the upcoming issue? Like, do you feel like you have to completely change everything or no?
Not completely changed, but I want to be more active about stuff. I think I let the worry and the kind of lackadaisical nature be like, oh, it's okay, but
Oh, this
because I
is so
don't want
easy.
I don't want to change so much, so because I'm worried that um it just might look bad. Like I finally transfer everything over and then stuff is out of place, and I'd rather keep functionality for now until I'm completely certain than just make everything look brand spanking new and then have things that are kind of out of order. So gonna be talking more about that with the team this week and shoring things up so we can kind of launch.
Are you gonna slip in any little like Easter eggs in the website, like little tiny hidden things that only eagle-eyed people are gonna be able
Yeah.
to find? I
Just
think you
like
should.
SMP best podcast.
Yeah, you should do that. And just like you could throw in like little tiny quotes from the show here and there.
Yeah.
Like you
Really
could
just
just
boost this up.
you could have like a list of like Evan's dumbest moments and
Yeah.
then just like rattle them off on each page. I think you should do that because I will be looking for that now.
That'd be great. Yeah, we could definitely do a clip show at the end of our second season here.
Yeah, we should do that. We should do like a clipped run through of all of our dumbest things and just like all the best answers and things like that.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. So that's kind of what I got going on. It's a new experience. I'm very grateful for the opportunity, and I am very open to guidance and being corrected because we need this to be a good experience for everyone involved. So
Our show depends on it.
it really does. Do
Not
you
really.
have any what?
Not really. I mean, the magazine's a little more important than what we're
Yeah,
doing here because the magazine's gonna it's got a lot of people working on the magazine, only two of us working on this. So
true, very true. It's a cool feeling having the collaborative effort, just being held in your hand. I mean, I'm looking at the last issue right now.
and the whole magazine will be on the website, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to have a hard copy. You can
Yeah.
check it out on the website.
Yeah, be able to. Yeah, we'll be able to check out all the features, and there will be. I guess that's just web content exclusive. I was just gonna bring out other fun stuff we do, like cool cats and bird beats, but
Those
uh,
are web exclusives,
yeah,
right?
those are web exclusives. So they will be all that.
I'm
That'll
still
be
holding
good.
a grudge against someone for that because I got interviewed for Cool Cats and it never got
Oh,
released.
I'm feeling the same thing. That's on Sydney. She doesn't like my article, man. No, just joking.
That is cwpulsemagazine.com for
Mm-hmm.
you guys who do want to check it out and check out the past issues as well. So be sure to do that. And
Yeah,
also we have links to other I believe there's links to other student media outlets on there, or are we
mhm.
not doing that right now? They got
There
beef.
should be, yeah, at the bottom of the page. We changed that around because everything was kind of all out of whack.
Oh, true, true.
So there's
closer
small updates, small quality of life improvements that we've been tinkering
quality of
with.
user
But
patches.
yeah, there's two more things I think we'd like to cover before we wrap this up. One would be if you want to talk about what's going on with the Observer, you being the news editor, anything you're excited for as the quarter wraps up, anything. I know it's hard to tease that kind of stuff because it comes out on a weekly basis, but if you have stuff I know I hear about it all the time, so you always got stuff you're working on. So that,
Uh,
and also a way that we can get our audience involved with Pulse as well.
well, the biggest thing for the Observer, like you said, it does come out weekly, so it's kind of hard to tease what's happening. We're coming to the end of the quarter, so things are either winding down or winding up. It seems like things have been winding up recently. A lot of hard hitting stories that have come out last issue, and even probably going to be more investigative stuff into the future, with a lot of this Title IX
Mm-hmm.
stuff that's been going on with campus and Cats Against Assault Instagram
Yeah,
page and all the just information that's being released about that. So there's definitely going to be a lot more coming in the Observer in general about that. I'm not necessarily saying I'm going to be writing those pieces because I don't have those connections and I didn't start writing them before, but be sure to look at those. Voting's happening this week. Get
it
out and
is.
vote on the 8th. That is tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is tomorrow.
This will be up today. So today is November 7th. We're doing a weird thing where we're filming this the day of that it's getting published. That
Mm-hmm.
doesn't usually happen, but so yeah, get out there, vote tomorrow. We'll have a couple stories coming out this issue about voting, and next issue for sure covering everything that went down with the elections and things like that.
Sweet.
Um, and other than that, just kind of a wrap up at the end of the quarter of just some stories here and there, probably some reflections from editors and whatnot, and um, maybe even finding out who will be on the editor staff next quarter because I'm not sure this guy's gonna be.
Ooh.
Ooh,
All right. That's different.
that's a tease.
That is news. That is news from the news editor himself.
I can't get into that right now. My contracts legally say I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Your NDA is kicking in.
NDA is kicking
Yeah,
in.
that's
But
good.
yeah, what's going on here with Pulse? What are we how are we getting these people involved, huh?
So we want to hear. Oh, look at these glasses. We want to hear what everyone's Spotify's taste are.
That's a good
So
one.
we love hearing playlists. We love seeing what our fallish / winterish themes are for the time as we all
Do you
prepare
change
to
your
get
music
sad.
with the times though? Like, okay, move seasonal music aside, like Christmas
Okay.
music, Halloween music, things like that. Are you listening to music at certain times of the year? Because I don't think I am. I think I'm listening to the same things
I
all the
listen to the same thing for sure, but I'll plug the new Joji album.
time.
I think Smithereens is really good.
Good stuff.
Personally, I'm not a fan of his earlier stuff, and I heard mumblings that some people are upset with the album, saying that it sounds unfinished. But I'm like, this is totally my vibe. Like, I understand a lot of it's same songy, but it's very quiet. Like, I drove over the pass yesterday because it was actually clear, so thankfully I'm here in the flesh. But
It definitely
I'm here in the flesh over Zoom. But it was a good time driving over the pass yesterday, listening to that new album. I was like, man, this is nice.
I definitely do get the fall winter time sounds with that one because it's
Mm-hmm.
really slow and quiet and melodic.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that makes sense. Yeah, for sure. I do like that one. I've been a Joji fan for a long time now,
Yeah,
so I
yeah,
didn't even know he was making new music. They literally came out, and then I was like, "What is this?" And I
yeah.
clicked
No,
on it. I was like,
yeah,
"What the heck? I didn't know." I don't know. I follow him on Instagram, but I didn't see anything. I don't know. Maybe his posts are blocked for me for some reason. Maybe Joji doesn't like me.
yeah. But yeah, we're gonna get everyone connected with their playlists, and we will get that going with the social media and have everyone involved so we can see what we're all bumping to and hopefully change some of our music tastes. I feel like a lot of people are a slave to just what they always listen to. So let's try to diversify, and me included. So
Guilty. Well,
yeah,
where can they send those in at?
that's a good question.
I do know.
You
Do
do
you
know?
know?
You want to go for it?
Didn't the
Because
didn't
it's Noah's email,
didn't the EIC himself say send it to his student email?
the student email. So that would be the
Would
exact. Would
that be
just be well, that would just be WRIGHTN
and
at
at
cwu.edu.
or just look up Noah Wright in the
Yeah.
tab. He'll
Yep.
probably be the first one that pops up. It's that guy right there.
Yep.
You can't see his face because it's blurry.
So it seems.
nice TV. Can't even
But
show
yeah,
up on the screen.
we'll send it to Noah's inbox, and we'll get everyone in the mix.
Yeah.
And
Last thing.
we got until the 12th for that.
Yes, 12th or the 11th.
Yeah.
Double check, but either one of those days. So if you got anything, shoot them in this week. This is going to be the week to do it. Any music you're feeling right now, send it. We want to know what people who read the magazine and listen to the podcast and get involved with student media at all. We want to know what they're listening to. So be sure to do that. Last order of business, Deacon. What are your plans for like next quarter in terms of classes? What are you thinking? When's your registration date?
Good question. I believe it's the end of this week or beginning of next week. I don't know. I do know that I'm having an advisor meeting on Thursday. So, and I'm possibly changing one of my minors because I haven't even started one of those. I finished one of them already, and I'm thinking I might want to add some more complexity to my stuff. I think I might change out of my digital marketing minor into religious studies.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I already do a lot of it in my spare time anyway, so I figured some of these classes I'm looking at taking, I'm like, am I going to be invested in that really, or is it just going to be a lot of busy work that's not fun? So I might as well take my free time passions and merge it with schoolwork, and then,
bada bing, bada boom.
So that might be it, and it's the same amount of credit, so no harm, no foul.
Sweet. Does that add any more school time to your thing or no?
Nope. Same old load.
When are you shooting for graduation?
It's possible I can walk in the spring and finish classes in the summer potentially. So we shall see with that one.
You see, I could have done that too, but in order to do that, I would have had to take 18 credits until graduation and then still take a freaking summer class. And I was like, there's no point in doing that. Why would I do that whenever I'm going to have to take one extra class anyways? I might as well just go home in the fall and then just take like a couple online classes at home.
Yeah. And that's my worst case scenario. So that might end up happening to me too. So
I'm chill with that, man. I love being at home in the fall. Best time of the year. It's so beautiful up there. Yeah, I've got my advising meeting tomorrow. So I'll get everything scheduled out tomorrow and see, is CNW coming in winter, or is that more of a spring thing? We will maybe next episode you will find out the answer to that on what our decision is. Maybe we could even put maybe we put a poll up on the Instagram, like, should Evan and Deacon take CNW in the fall or in the spring or winter? Let the listeners know. Yeah. Last question, very important question. Let's Ride team has a playoff game tonight.
Oh yeah, we do.
Flag football team. Yeah. What do you think the outcome is going to be?
The outcome is going to be that we're going to beat this team. We know them well. We had our heart broken desperately by them last time. I mean, I was in shambles. I've never experienced a defeat like that in any kind of sports, let alone intramural. So that was
tough.
That was a tough one, man. It was very like. So I feel that we got the team chemistry kind of building. We had a new team on that last one, so everything's going to click once we hit playoffs, which is right now. So let's ride. That's what I have to say.
Yeah, for context, Deacon and I are on a flag football team. This is a team that Deacon started. He is El Capitan, and I am just a stowaway. They got picked up at the last minute. Deacon is MVP. He's been quarterback. He plays every position on the field. Deacon is the guy. So looking for him to have a big game tonight while I warm the bench.
Hey man, I need this MCL tear to be worth it. We need
don't
to
say that. Don't put
this.
That kind
we
of,
need this, man. I've been taping my leg, man. It's rough.
Hey, I think we got this.
Oh, I have no doubt we're gonna win. No doubt, man. Gwen Stefani.
Coach, do you got me playing defense tonight or no? Am I still the offensive?
You gotta play. You have to play. You have to play defense tonight. You have to. We want to win.
Oh, all right, I'll do it.
SMP podcast. Get ready for this. You know what's just funny because I just said student media podcast. Get ready for this. But
podcast SMP student media podcast. All right, we'll get back to you guys later this week. This is going to be a two episode week. I mean, it'll be uploaded next week, but you get the idea.
Yep.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you guys on the next one.